Imagine a man who rose from humble beginnings to rub shoulders with presidents, princes, and billionaires. A man whose private jet and secluded island became symbols of unimaginable power and unspeakable secrets. Jeffrey Epstein, convicted sex offender, mysterious financier, and now, even in death, the center of one of the most explosive scandals in modern history. But what if I told you that millions of pages of documents, unsealed by the US government, are peeling back the layers of his dark empire? Names you've heard before, and shocking new revelations that could rewrite the story. Stick with me because tonight we're diving deep into the Epstein Files. The secrets, the names, and the questions that still haunt us. Let's start at the beginning. Who was Jeffrey Epstein? Born in 1953 in Brooklyn, New York, Epstein wasn't born into wealth. He was a math whiz, skipping grades and landing a teaching gig at the elite Dalton School in the 1970s. But teaching wasn't his endgame. He caught the eye of a powerful parent, the father of future Attorney General William Barr, and soon jumped into finance. By the 1980s, Epstein was working at Bear Stearns, climbing the ranks fast. But whispers followed him. How did a college dropout amass billions? He claimed to manage money for the ultra-rich, but his client list? Shrouded in mystery. One confirmed name, Les Wexner, the Victoria's secret mogul who gave Epstein power of attorney over his fortune. Billions under his control. But was that the whole story? Fast forward to 2005. Palm Beach, Florida. Police receive a tip. Underage girls are being trafficked to Epstein's mansion for massages that turn into something far more sinister. The investigation uncovers dozens of victims, some as young as 14, alleging Epstein paid them for sex acts, then recruited them to bring in more girls. A pyramid of abuse. Beat. In 2008, Epstein cuts a sweetheart deal with federal prosecutors, including Alex Acosta, later Trump's labor secretary. He pleads guilty to state charges, serves just 13 months in a cushy jail setup with work release. No federal charges. Why? The files hint at influence from high places, but the full truth? Still buried. Epstein walks free, but the victims don't forget. In 2015, Virginia Giuffre sues Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's right-hand woman, for defamation. Maxwell, daughter of media tycoon Robert Maxwell, allegedly procured girls for Epstein's ring. The lawsuit settles, but the documents, sealed for years. Until now. Hook transition. Quick cut graphic of unsealing documents, names flashing redacted then revealed. 2024 marked the beginning of the flood. A federal judge orders the unsealing of nearly 200 names from the Giuffre-Maxwell case. Bill Clinton, Donald Trump, Prince Andrew, now known as Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, after stepping back from royal duties. Alan Dershowitz, even magician David Copperfield. But remember, being named doesn't mean guilt. Many were just associates, witnesses, or mentioned in passing. Clinton. Mentioned over 50 times in early docs. He flew on Epstein's jet, dubbed the Lolita Express. Multiple times. But no accusations of wrongdoing. Trump? He banned Epstein from Mar-a-Lago after rumors surfaced, but old quotes show they partied together in the 90s. I've known Jeff for 15 years. Terrific guy, Trump once said. Again, no direct allegations in the files. Beat Prince Andrew? That's where it gets darker. Giuffre alleges he assaulted her 3 times, claims he settled out of court for millions without admitting fault. The files include photos, emails, and a puppet of the prince from Epstein's collection. Creepy? Absolutely. And new docs reveal Andrew invited Epstein to Buckingham Palace years after his Florida conviction, promising lots of privacy. Emphasis on lots of privacy, pause for effect. But the unsealing didn't stop in 2024. By 2025, under a transparency law, the Department of Justice drops a bombshell. Over 3.5 million pages, 180,000 images, and 2,000 videos. The Epstein Files explode into the public domain. Emails, texts, investigative reports, a treasure trove of Epstein's web. Enter the tech titans. Elon Musk? Emails show Epstein discussing travel plans, though Musk denies visiting Little St. James, Epstein's infamous private island. Bill Gates? Multiple meetings post-conviction, including at Epstein's mansion. Gates says it was for philanthropy, but regrets the association. "I wish I had never met him," he told reporters. Pause. Richard Branson? Named in victim testimonies alleging encounters on the island. Branson calls it baseless. And Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick? References to dinners and calls. No accusations, but the proximity raises eyebrows. Political heavyweights, too. Steve Bannon, Trump's former advisor, in email chains with Epstein. New York Giants co-owner Steve Tisch. Even a list of uncorroborated tips to the FBI's tip line, mentioning Trump hundreds of times. One wild claim, a drawing in Epstein's birthday book with a suggestive note allegedly from Trump. He denies it, suing over the release. Beat tension build. But the most shocking revelation? An email from Sarah Ferguson, Andrew's ex-wife, suggesting Epstein fathered a secret child around 15 years ago. Unverified, but it adds fuel to the fire. Was Epstein's empire built on more than just money? Blackmail? Hidden heirs? Little St. James. Epstein's pedophile island, as survivors call it. The files paint a vivid picture, underground tunnels. No hard evidence, but flight logs show dozens of trips by elites. Victims describe orgies, abuse, and a system where girls were flown in like cargo. Johanna Schoberg, Annie Farmer, their depositions are gut-wrenching. He liked them young, one says. Ghislaine Maxwell, convicted in 2021 for trafficking, sentenced to 20 years. The files expose her role, recruiting, grooming, even participating. But was she the only one? The DOJ says no client list exists, no proven blackmail ring. Yet survivors beg to differ. There were tapes, Giuffre claims. Where are they now? Hold on, we're just scratching the surface. What about the 2006 grand jury transcripts released in 2024? They show prosecutors downplaying victims' stories, calling one girl a prostitute. Outrageous. And Epstein's death in 2019? Official ruling: suicide by hanging in his Manhattan cell. But conspiracy theories abound. Broken bones, faulty cameras, guards asleep. The files include autopsy reports, but no smoking gun. Was it murder to silence him? We may never know. Deeper still, Epstein's wealth. How did he bankroll mansions in New York, Paris, New Mexico? The files hint at shady deals, but his black book, with over 1,500 contacts, remains partially redacted. Names like Kevin Spacey, Al Gore, Ehud Barak, all mentioned, no charges. The latest drop in January 2026, 3 million more pages confirming Epstein's ties to tech, finance, and politics. Emails with Musk over travel plans. Gates regretting dinners, and Trump? Over 3,000 mentions, including tip line allegations. Unproven, but persistent. But here's the VIP hook. These files aren't just history. They've sparked resignations, like a top Slovakian official tied to Epstein, and renewed calls for Andrew to testify. Bipartisan pressure mounts. Why haven't more been held accountable? As we sift through these millions of pages, one thing is clear. Epstein's network was vast, his influence insidious. Victims like Giuffre, Farmer, and dozens more have fought for this transparency. Their courage exposes a system that protected the powerful for too long. Yet questions linger. Who else knew? What tapes exist? And will justice ever be fully served?